Commissioners for your Tennessee Real Estate Commission. And before us is really the all-star bench here. That's who makes everything happen. So thank you all on behalf of the states that are here. So I'm going to ask our friend and your close friend, Kathy Tucker, to lead us in the pledge as well as to say a prayer, and then we'll call a roll and keep going.
And then you please bow your head. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this time together. Please be with us this day. Let us to have guidance from you in regard to the decisions that we make. In your holy name we pray. Will you please stand for the pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Denise Baker is the new TREC Executive Director. She's been new to the job since late this summer and doing a wonderful job. I'm going to turn it over to Denise now and having her business to tend to.
Yes, thank you. Notice of the September meeting of the Real Estate Commission, including date, time, and location, has been noticed on the Tennessee Real Estate Commission website since November 3rd, 2022. Additionally, this month's agenda has been posted on the website since Friday, September 29th, 2023. Individuals who wish to make a public comment on an item listed or post, individuals who wish to make a public comment on an item listed on the posted public agenda during the schedule may do so during the scheduled public period, and they will need to sign in on the provided sign-in sheet. If for some reason they are joining us virtually, they may place their name in the chat box at this time, and we will acknowledge them. It is requested that comments be limited to 3 minutes out of respect for other speakers. At this time, I also want to thank the Greater Chattanooga Realtors for their hospitality this week, as well as use of their facility. Josh, Denise, and Carol and Fancy have been very gracious in their hospitality and the use of their facility. I also want to thank everyone that is here joining us in this room. So thank you guys. And if you would like CE for this, please, please, please make sure that you guys sign in so we can give you 8 hours of CE for joining us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Denise.
I would like to call the roll.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you. Chair Diaz. Chair Diaz is absent. Vice Chair Ferris.
Here.
Commissioner Moffitt.
Here.
Commissioner Begley.
Here.
Commissioner Corbett. Here. Commissioner Gwynn.
Here.
Commissioner Smith. Commissioner Tucker.
Here.
Commissioner Vaughn.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay. Moving on with the agenda. I have a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second. And moved by Commissioner Tucker, second by Commissioner Gahn. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. Do I have a motion to approve the minutes from the September meeting? Second. Got a motion from Commissioner Tucker, second from Commissioner Moffitt. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. That passes as well. So Denise, do you want to open this up for the public comment period?
Yes.
Are there anybody?
Are there any names that are on the sheet for public comment? Okay. We can close the public comment.
Okay. I would say one moment to say again, on behalf of the commission, thank you for hosting. We, at TREC, we get to come to East Tennessee and to West Tennessee once a year by statute. The rest of the time we're in Nashville, where the seat of state government resides. So it's fun to be in East Tennessee, especially. I love West Tennessee. Commissioner Smith and Diaz aren't here, so I can really show my love to East Tennessee. There's something special about East Tennessee. My father always jokes we could maybe take in Asheville and give Memphis to Arkansas. And... oh, I'm looking sorry. I'll second that. So we're we're gonna have an effective meeting. We're gonna talk about some cases. You're gonna hear some interesting cases, some discussion. Hope to be respectful of your time and respectful of your facility and everything. As I pulled in, I was sitting in the truck waiting to come in. I just looked over Amnicola Highway at the City of Chattanooga Training Center. There was a police training center, fire training center. There's about 20 individual men and women out there waiting to go in. And it just struck me, and you all agree, those are the heroes. And without them, there are no safe communities. Without a safe community, there's no place to thrive and build. So thank you for those heroes in this community and across the state. So as for that, let's get going. Denise, there's some informal appearances.
We have two informal appearances scheduled for today. The first is candidate A. And I'm going to apologize in advance for mispronouncing her name, but Ms. Audra Takis is with us with hopefully her principal broker, Jennifer Carson. She is before us today. Let's see. Because of a professional license discipline. Her statement and letters of recommendation can be found on your iPad. Ms. Audra, if you can unmute your mic at this time.
Yes, ma'am.
And is your principal broker here today?
She is.
And if she could turn on her camera. And unmute your mic, we cannot see or hear you.
I'm not muted, but my camera's not working.
Oh, okay, but, okay.
Oh,
but you are-
yes, it is. Hi.
There we are.
All right, very good. Ms. Audra, if you want to explain the situation as to why there's been some professional license discipline in the past?
Yes, there was a complaint made against my chiropractic license, and after review from the board, they requested that I do 2 additional hours of continuing education, as well as placed my license on a 30-day probation. After I complied with all that, they reinstated my license to a completely unencumbered status.
And Ms. Carson?
Carstensen?
Carstensen, I apologize for mispronouncing your name. Do you have any comments in reference to Ms. Audra joining us?
Yeah, I've known Audra for probably over 15 years, and during my relationship with her, she's been nothing but professional, and I think that she will make an excellent realtor, and she will serve the community of Memphis before it is taken over by Arkansas. We're still a part of Tennessee, so she will serve Memphis with the utmost integrity.
Thank you for sharing that. Be careful what you say. Talking about myself. Thank you both for sharing your stories and being here today. Any questions by any of the members?
None for me, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The reason we're seeing this is just because it's a license.
Right, so, individuals are required to give the commission if they have any, if they have any felony, or, any misdemeanor related to theft, money or services or property within the past 10 years, or any occupational licensure, discipline at the state, federal, or local level. So somebody has a license, chiropractic license within the past 2 years and has a disciplinary infraction, that's the reason that she's here for you.
Any other questions? Have a motion to
Make a motion to approve.
And a motion to approve this candidate by Commissioner Glenn, and second by Commissioner Gahn. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Congratulations, Ms. Audra.
Great. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You both are welcome to stay. You can get on about your day. Best wishes to everybody in Memphis.
We know now. You guys have a good day, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have candidate B, it's Dewan Bradford. If you are present, if you could turn on your camera and your mic, as well as your principal broker, Latanya Martin. I do not believe they are present. We'll give it another moment. Yes, ma'am, please. It doesn't appear that they are present, so we'll move on if that's okay. To education.
I've got a question.
Yes.
What's the, is there a time frame? Can somebody, I remember this candidate from
August.
August. Once they reapply, do they keep reapplying if they don't show? Or is there a waiting period? How does that work?
So if you apply, your application is open for 6 months.
6 months, all right.
Okay, thank you, Steve. Let's get on with the education director, Mr. Ross White.
Mr. Chairman, thank you and members of the commission. And thank you especially to Greater Chattanooga Realtors. You all have been very hospitable to us, and I appreciate that. I call your attention today to the education report. And I have that on your iPad here this morning. For the commission's benefit, I have reviewed all the new providers, their courses, and the instructors. And I present them today to you for your approval, 01 through 04.
Thank you, Ross. Are there any questions from the commissioners about this report? If there are no questions, we have a motion. Let's roll on.
Make a motion to approve the courses 1 through 40.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Begley and second by Commissioner Tucker. All in favor? Aye.
Thank you, members of the commission, Mr. Chairman. Moving on to the instructor's background report, I believe there are 2. Again, for your approval.
I have a motion.
Make a motion for the.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. These 2 applicants are approved to be instructors.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Always amazed at the breadth of experience these instructors have. They're not like, I've been a real estate professional for 20 years. I've been a lender for 20 years. One of these is a 40 years experience in local, state, federal, tribal, military, fire services. So the instructors for CE across the state, I mean, they have a breadth of experience. Thank you, Ross.
Just for a clarification, who made that motion?
For the classes.
For the instructors.
I think it was Commissioner Tucker and then second by
I
Commissioner.
made the motion. I think.
Thank you.
Sorry, Denise. Okay, executive director report.
All right, my report will be very brief today. You have on your iPad, licenses here from the state of Tennessee. In the coming weeks, I'll be working with Ross and staff at the Tennessee Department of Commerce and Insurance to create this letter to send out to all licensees within the state of Tennessee. So we're going to sending out quarterly newsletters to all licensees in the state. In addition to that, in 2024, just to put it on the radar, we will also be entering the RFP process most likely for our testing provider, PSI, as well as our insurance provider, Price Insurance. So I just want to make you guys aware of those updates and what's going to be going on, hopefully in the spring of 2024. Are there any questions? Yes, sir.
The pass percentage on the affiliate broker seems to me to be dipping. Missouri was down to 38%. I thought we were closer to 50. And 38 is not, certainly not good.
Since being in this role, I've noticed some discrepancies with the PSI reporting. And so this report shows what was reported in a fashion which was accurate, because some of the numbers were inaccurate in past reports. And so I'll be working with PSI. And if you're listening to PSI, we'll be working together. So, correct these issues, because there were some major discrepancies in all the reports that they gave us this year in 2023, as well as their cumulative report from 2022. So I'll be working with them on that in the coming weeks. Hopefully, they will provide appropriate justification as to why the reporting was inaccurate. Well, what you may have seen in the past may have been inaccurate. So we're gonna get down to the
Right number.
correct. Oh, I just also want to point out, these aren't the totality of all the numbers for September, since our meeting was pushed up this month, October 4th. I believe the cutoff for most of these numbers, unless indicated, is September 27th. So you'll have complete numbers for September in next month, at next month commission meeting.
Anything else?
No, sir, that's all. Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions? All right. So for those here in the room, we're looking at this executive director report for October 2023. The number I mentioned to you all, there's 60,301 licensees of one nature or the other in the state. So you're one of many individuals, firm licenses. And so it'll be interesting to see how these numbers relate to the next 12, 24 months, how the economy goes. Judging by the room, you know, I've seen a lot of different environments. And so our numbers may shrink a little and may swell at times as we've seen in recent years. Just keep running steady. Okay, we are moving on to the legal consent agenda. This will be the largest section of our meeting today. Anna, you have anything on that? Here, Anna Matlock is our esteemed counselor for the state. She and I have a great relationship. We poking at each other, and she helps me stay straight and provides all manner of good advice and good direction for us. And we thank her for the whole legal team.
I just want to make sure we have cases from Commissioner Barris, Commissioner Tucker. We have copies of the cases. Yes, no.
I don't have a list of all the
Okay.
cases.
Okay, so these are cases I had.
Okay.
5, 9, 15, 21, 24, 25, 30, 32, 42, 43, 44, 45, 50, and 58.
Okay, thank you. Is there anybody that would like to add anything to that list? That complete
I'd like to add number 2.
number 2. Okay, so we have 15 cases out of, how many do we have this month? I know there's 44 pages of cases. So 15 and 62 we're going to be discussing. The remainder of that, the balance of that number, we're going to make a motion here shortly and to accept council's recommendation on those cases. And then we'll turn our attention to the 15 that either one of the commissioners has pulled or the legal counsel for the state has prompted us to discuss. And we'll try to move those as efficiently as possible. And you never know what type of conversation may come up. Any one of our experiences from our practices or as a public member can weigh in on this. So Do I have a motion to accept council recommendation on the cases that are not numbered mentioned? So moved. Motion by Commissioner Moffitt and second by Commissioner Corbett. All in favor?
Aye.
That passes. Thank you. Okay. Case number 2. Steve, you want to?
Yes, just a question. Here's that the respondent is unable to be found. So why did we not, close and flag? I didn't totally understand why we was doing that as opposed to the failure to respond. Just couldn't find them or?
My concern was that, I don't know that we have the correct respondent. I don't know that we have the correct contact information. I wanted to go ahead and close it, flag it from me so that I can investigate those matters further without keeping open a complaint, that perhaps, like I said, is for the wrong respondent. I don't want that in their file, so to speak, until I know it actually needs to be there.
Got it. All right. I move to accept council's recommendation.
A motion to accept council recommendation on case number 2 by Commissioner Glenn and second by Commissioner Moffitt. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion passes. Thank you. Case number 5, I pulled this one. Anybody else pulled this one? It says discuss. So Kim, you want to maybe set this one up for us?
Yes, sir. In this matter, we have there was previously an affiliate broker of a principal broker that contacted the original complainant without identifying they were a licensee and I want to buy your property almost too. The licensee, principal broker complainant, knew that what they were doing was not okay. And not only was it not okay, but they were almost harassing. They repeatedly called this individual. The original complainant knew the original respondent, principal broker, had known them for many years, contacted the principal broker, who is this respondent in this case, and let them know what was going on. The original respondent was fined $1,000 for not identifying themselves as licensee. And a complaint was administratively opened against this principal broker for the actions of his affiliate. In response to this complaint, the principal broker / respondent has said, as soon as I found out what was happening, I released his affiliate broker. And that has been wrong. So I wasn't sure at this point how you wanted me to move forward with the complaint. So I wrote that back to you.
Can the complaint just be administratively closed?
That's
Since it was administratively opened by us?
with your permission.
Okay. Everybody following that? I remember this vaguely from June, July. Yeah, July. So a little context, as you hear these cases, even our own eyes can cross sometimes when we read these cases. Complainant responding. And I'm not an attorney, so I have to really slow down here. But the complainant, this is obvious now to me after 3 years, is who's making the complaints. The respondent is responding to the complaint, and if they don't respond even, that can be grounds for a fine from TREC. So tell your colleagues, if you ever get a complaint, just respond, and the response can be, as Commissioner Glenn really pointedly pointed out last meeting, I have no response. That's a response. So do that as opposed to not, or you're going to get $1,000 civil penalty possible. So, but here we are. I mean, unless anybody has any, I'm of the mind to close it. Does anybody have a motion for that or thoughts? And say, Darcy, the broker is released.
So the history that we have, which is extensive here, is also the principal broker. Yes. Those are a lot of issues.
Well, the issues, oh, here, heavens. So the issues are like one prevailing issue, and it's E&O. Failing to supervise failing to supervise their affiliate broker. So you'll see that's what most of them are, except for 2006 letter of warning. We probably don't have that context, but all of them are within the E&O cycle, so those would have come before you. That's when the affiliate broker in the E&O cycle has had their E&O lapse, and then the principal broker in their turn to CO.
I'll make a motion to undo staff versus.
Second. Motion by Commissioner Bailey, seconded by Commissioner Khan. Any discussion? All in favor? Motion passes. Thanks. Okay, case number 9. I pulled this one. Did anybody else?
I was on this one too.
Okay.
This was actually one I also asked for some discussion.
Okay, great.
You can see that there's quite a long narrative there, but essentially what we have, excuse me, there was a out-of-state buyer, is the complainant. The respondent is the affiliate broker that they were working with. Essentially, it comes down to the complainant feeling like the respondent did not practice due care in taking care of them and their needs, some of which were special needs regarding the property, but in particular, before closing, the complainant had asked for a video walkthrough of the property, which is 30 acres, to be clear, but as much as primarily the home that this respondent or this complainant was going to be living in, asked for a video walkthrough. And there was a walkthrough. I was provided the video. And the respondent asked several times about the condition of the property, right in the home. The respondent said that there was some debris, but that it was all going to be removed by the owner, seller of the home, prior to closing. That did not happen. There was a lot of personal items that were left behind that when the complainant arrived to the property and tried to get the original owner to come give the property, that did not go well. There was also in particular issues of brush piles and debris, trash that was left on the property that the complainant says you could see from the front porch, like where the respondent was standing in the video. If they could come, I could have seen, anyone could have seen this debris. And that's the real crux of the issue, is that now the complainant is here, they've had to spend quite a few of their, quite a bit of money, according to them, to remove this debris. There's several piles, not just this one. And again, the complainant is saying it was obvious from where they were standing during the video that you could see that. The respondent was freeze, but that's not what happened. That they asked, and they did on the video, they asked the complainant if you want me to do any other video from the walk around some more. The complainant said, no, this is good. There's some disagreement about some text messages and the context of the text messages, and whether or not it was understood that there was going to be some personal property left behind. And the reason that I've asked for you all to discuss this is this truly, I do have videos, like I said, but I'm concerned that some of these items that were left behind were not disclosed to the complainant. You also have a complainant that you find a property site on the scene, essentially relying on the respondent to do due diligence and revealing whatever issues were at the property. So again, I throw it back to you. What is your level of due care that you expect from your requirements, and what do you think would be the appropriate response to this?
My issue with it was that they also, the complainant complainant asked the respondent to do the final walkthrough with, because they were not going to be there. And we did the final walkthrough, but there were repairs that were not completed.
Yes, they, I read that out. There was at least one repair, and again, they disagree as to the extent of the repair and exceeded. But it was agreed that that repair would be made. Respondent did admit that they missed it, and it was not done.
I make a motion that we send a letter of warning, the bridge is still repaired.
Have a motion. Commissioner Tucker. Second by Commissioner Bailey. Any discussion?
I'm the newest one on the commission, so I'm naive. What are our other opportunities in this case? What else can we besides saying, well, this one could be $5,000 fine, $1,000
I mean, they could, all of the scenario options are open.
Could, education, sorry. We could do education, or accessibility, or whatever, or if it's going to be.
Hence, or a letter of instruction.
As Joe just reminded me, y'all know Commissioner John Greaves, former Commissioner John Greaves, is in my place, and we can do whatever we want.
I guess my question is, was there anything in writing about the removal of the secret, or was it all he said, she said?
It was on one track.
So, Mike, I had made in my notes $1,000 fine, a question mark.
I don't know in the morning. Education, you know, I don't know.
I'd like to say a little more into the building. I think that's something really. Doing a walkthrough for a client, simply because what you consider good and what I consider good can be two totally different. And we might be, you know, on the same page most of the time through our relationship. So far, everything is good. But then when something like goes wrong, and now I'm working for other stuff, and it's gonna be, she said all the time, so be careful. That's what
Never watching. Said the, is there any evidence to say that the respondent pushed, the buyer to close? It says, complaint to go forward with the transaction so that the respondent can pay. So it sounds like the buyer out of state is kind of relying on the respondent to do the walk for him or her. And that's what the debate is about, that the respondent was pushing. Maybe not quite doing what he or she should have been doing to get the transaction closed. And he or she can be paid. Is that
That's
correct, or do you don't know that?
That's the way the complainant feels. I don't have, I don't need documentation of that. That really, associate this, that it may have been all, I don't have the complainant.
Who we doing the video?
Respond easily.
You think you left out the- didn't take effect, because it didn't want everybody to know. Right?
That's what the complainant feels happened here, so that they would go ahead and post it there.
And even if they didn't do it maliciously, I'm gonna video this part of the movie, not that part of it. He did, it happened. And so it was a mistake, whether it was intended or not. Go back to what you said, Kathy, and I'll read this here. The complainant provided a copy of the first page of the purchase and sale agreement, which specifies that, quote, trash, debris, personal items, end quote, shall not remain on the property. So I think the letter of warning is in there, and I would support an amended motion for a fine or
And the
I'd like to
motion,
move the month down.
I'm in the motion to add $1,000.
second. Okay. Commissioner Tucker has made a motion to, can you state your motion?
Yeah, my motion is to send a letter of warning, reason of skill and care, and add $1,000 to the penalty.
And this is what you need.
Consent order granted the $1,000.
Yes.
Whatever Anna says.
Okay, the motion is on the table by Commissioner Tucker, second by Commissioner Corbett, all in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Motion carries. Number 15. We have this page.
I'm the number 15. This one is really, in my opinion, an advertising violation. What happened was, people went under contract purchasing a new house, and MLS, input sheet said that there was a fireplace. Later, after construction started, there was not a fireplace, and they were told by the respondent that, it was an upgrade. When I looked at this, I saw that there is a history here of, violations in regard to, advertising. So I just want to bring this up for discussion.
Thank you, Kathy. Anybody have any questions or thoughts on this?
I agree with Kathy. The last 2 years in a row, it's something like
Yeah. So the recommendation is a letter of warning regarding advertising and need to be, quote, current and accurate per NC regs. And the regs that are noted. Kathy, you have any?
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion for the city penalty of $500.
Second? Motion by Commissioner Tucker for the $500 civil penalty, seconded by Commissioner Moffitt. All in favor?
Uh,
Any against? As unanimous, thank you. Page number 21, I pulled, anybody else pulled up? This was regarding advertising, and, I'm gonna make a motion to accept council recommendation. I think it bears reading this. Administratively open complaint. The, respondent has been previously issued $1,000 for penalty for some advertising violations. The respondent denies the advertising is a violation as it was sent to realtor or something and not to consumers. Had this e-blast been sent to consumers, it would have absolutely been a violation. I didn't realize there was a discrepancy.
There's not an exception.
So kind of, so.
It's like somebody saying out loud.
Somebody, am I crazy? Okay, so I'll make, anybody have a motion, and the vice chairman make a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Thank you.
Accept council recommendation of $1,000 civil penalty.
Okay, motion by Commissioner Cody. Okay. Joke about how her name has been pronounced every which way from Corbett.
Today it's turned into something.
Sorry. Thank you for your motion, Commissioner Corbett. Second by Commissioner Moffitt. Any, all in favor? Any against? That's unanimous. Thank you. 24. I'll hold this. Anybody else? this is a case where the complainant was an investor or respondent is a licensee. And so the complaint alleges that there was a real estate training class that was charged, the recipients were charged $3,000 to attend. The complainant completed the course, then agreed to invest $30,000 in a property that the complainant and respondent will apparently renovate and sell for profit. I know how this is going to go. So council, it went awry from there, and just the point of note here for anybody who watches this, most of this will be disclaimer, but just be careful. Holy smokes, just wow, just call a friend. So the council recommendation is litigation monitoring as this is a civil suit now. Complainant and respondent, so that civil suit will take its course, and we will probably see this again, depending on how that shakes out. So, any motion to accept council recommendation? Motion by Commissioner Tucker. Second by Commissioner Gall. Thank you. Any in favor? Right. Anyone in favor? All in favor? Any against? Hearing none, that motion passes unanimously.
You did a great job.
Item 25. I pulled this one. Did anybody else pull it?
This is why I asked for discussion.
All right. Oh, yeah, this is interesting page.
You want me to give some?
Yes, that
Okay.
has it forward, please, yeah. Thank you.
So in this case, both the complainant and the respondent are licensees. As you said, it's an unfortunate twist of terms. The complainant said that they approached the respondent about listing that the respondent had and made an offer. The offer was not signed by the complainant. The complainant alleged that the respondent started to add conditions to the offer and refused to present the offer to their seller. Is how this originally came to. The respondent was the agent for the seller. And unfortunately, the respondent said that they did have an initial offer. Again, it was not signed. It was a low offer that even the complainant acknowledged was a low offer, that when they took it to the seller was offended and said, no, it doesn't have to be much better than that. And so the respondent went back to the complainant and said that. It was interesting to me that, as the respondent pointed out, the complainant did not identify themselves as a licensee when they made this offer. And the offer, while it was in writing, it also had on the offer page that they were not represented. So not only are they not identifying themselves, they're saying they're not represented at all, which I thought was kind of lack of the word shade. So the respondent pointed that out, and then explained that the reason when the second offer was made, that they were not able to immediately take it to their client is because they could not reach their client. And so they spent 2 days texting and calling their client. And so they were trying to, in their words, protect their client's interests. And without just saying, I can't reach my client, and go away with your offer. What the respondent ended up finding out was that they lost contact with their client because their client was in the hospital and actually passed away. And it was several days until the respondent was notified, because in a horrible turn of events, the poor seller wasn't identified. But as part of their response to the complaint, they also pointed out that the second offer that was made was also not signed, and that language about buyers not represented had been removed. Excuse me. So lawyer and life insurance meetings. We've come, when you come to make a complaint, you better make sure that you're handling them as well. And so I had a problem with that. But the complainant seemed to be, ignoring and not presenting some of the facts that made them not look so good either. And it was responded to cover some of the things out. That as well as the, what you.
Thank you. It's a lengthy story.
I'm a lawyer, I can't help it.
No, I'm saying thank you because these things just don't pop off the page. You've got to have somebody to read, and discuss these, gather facts, and hear the story. So thank you.
Yes, sir.
And it's sad to hear their loss too. Anybody have any discussion, or questions, or thoughts?
Yes, that was my question. You would have to go for the vote. We can't just. So the respondent would have to.
That's what the snap line play is trying to snap.
We can't just, if the complainant is civil penalty. Yes.
I would highly discourage opening complaints against complainant. Because there are individuals that are filing a complaint, and I know that the people have a tendency to tell on themselves, when they file information, but when an individual does file a complaint, we don't want to start the habit of filing complaints on people that file complaints, but then we might not get complaints, right? We want people to be able to file the complaints without the fear of retribution coming back from the teacher. So in the past, we have not opened complaints yet. But, and that's my advice. You're free to take it over.
You're very great about that.
But yes, I would just highly advise against opening.
And did you see that the contract that was presented in Knoxville?
Yes.
I make a motion to. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Begley to dismiss, second, Commissioner Quinn. All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Motion passes unanimously. Case number 30. This was also a discussion, correct?
Yes, sir.
There was a, yeah, go ahead. Thank you.
So this is probably the third one of this kind of, act pattern that I've seen here lately. I'm being a little concerned about the standing nature of things.
Right.
Yes, sir. So, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to discuss it, so we kind of get it out there. The complainant in this case, was the listing agent of the property for the seller. The respondent was, the buyer's agent. And trying to make a long story short, what.
That was what you need. I didn't need this. I'm just. Great.
Yeah.
So,
The buyer, was supposedly an out-of-state buyer. The, buyer's spouse, as they have referred to themselves as, was working to purchase this home. So, they did go under contract. There was supposed to be earnest money deposited. As we get closer to the closing, the complainant agent discovers that the respondent agent has never met the actual buyer, has never talked to the actual buyer, that I think there may have been one or two text messages, but it was primarily they were dealing with the spouse. And I keep putting that in air quotes because it turns out the spouse was not an actual spouse. It was a alleged romantic partner who, this was a catfishing, for those of you who know the term. And this poor person had actually sent money to the supposed try to get them, entice them to come live with them and buy this house and marry and have to get around. So, yes. Oh, yes.
That's what it makes sense.
This is the Dr. Phillips.
So the buyer, nobody knows the buyer.
Correct, except this.
Except for the rent.
Yes, sir.
You never met him.
Right, and if the bond and believe that to the water.
Correct. The respondent believed that they were dealing with the spouse of this supposed buyer, even though, and let the spouse sign the contract for this buyer that they would never see her actually.
And in comparison
And
to
who's
the spouse,
name is contract with him.
The imaginary buyer.
But the sound sign is sound.
Yes, ma'am.
okay, continue. Catch up.
So the complainant agent is doing their due diligence, and is trying to get more information about what's going on and where's the earnest money. And obviously this all falls apart before closing. And that is when the complainant agent learns that this is all just in a big scam, that this person was running on, the alleged spouse. So, the respondent agent apologized in their response for their actions and negligence, but then went on to allege that there were other reasons this complaint was being filed and that, but again, that they were sorry. I'm sure they are very sorry, but there were a lot of red flags here, and they, from what I could tell, the documentation, they just stepped on, sailing on, without taking the time to really find out why they never actually talked to us. And again, this is probably the second or third kind of similar story, that I've heard just in the last couple of months. And so people need to be aware. The internet can be an awful place, and it's really easy to take the money, especially the rest of it.
Thank you. Anybody have any questions or more to add to this?
How long was the contract?
I believe about a month,
And how much deposit was the neighbor?
within 5 days.
The father was notified. He didn't, you want to go for the title company, remember that?
Yes.
Then you check the title company to see if we can see.
From what I recall, and I believe the complainant throughout this process was asking where's the earnest money, and was told repeatedly by the spouse, the romantic partner, it's coming, he's in the hospital, or they're in the hospital. There was always an excuse. And so a few days before closing, the complainant finally, demanded some answers about what was happening. Because they obviously, they have someone who, health issues and going through a lot themselves, and it was a very bad, ended up being a very bad situation for their client.
It says here 8 hours before closing.
That when they
No
finally,
money, no earnest money, no funds.
when they finally said the gig is up, I don't think this person exists. That's what I want to double check. They didn't, I don't know that. Yes, I think it was finally confirmed 8 hours beforehand, and all of it had been. He's not happy.
It sounded like that all came to light right there in that ninth hour, so to speak. When I read this, this licensee first was licensed in April of 21. We're not very, we have a lot of great experience in 2 years. A lot, yes, my first 2 years, and I had that at 17. I thought of my experience, just, I messed up. So we discussed it, whether is there a motion, I've got some thoughts about what to see.
I got another question. So after, so basically the seller had a property under contract for a period of time that essentially was fake contract, correct?
Yes.
So their harm was the property because they were selling, they wasted a bunch of time, right?
Yes.
So help me on the term catfish. I know it's not a legal term. What would it be? I mean, what is it fraud or what?
Yes.
Okay.
I think y'all probably don't. I make a motion.
Yes, sir, thank you.
I'm gonna make a motion on $1,000 for an E&O violation. We're going to, they were gonna have earnest money within 5 days. They never got their earnest money. They're not gonna complain against them for failure to supervise.
Yeah.
Earnest money, I'm sorry. Come on, man.
Earnest money.
Earnest money.
Error and an omission.
I'm just saying, I understand y'all opinion. Trying to do the crowd good. So earnest money violation. And yeah, I'm gonna find the agent $1,000 for earnest money violation, and I'm gonna make a complaint against principal over the failure to supervise.
There's a second. Motion by Commissioner Davis, second by Commissioner Moffitt. All in favor?
Aye.
Any against?
No.
Motion passes. Thank you. Motion.
What'd you say, Stacy?
A lesson to everyone. Get proof that someone exists.
Yes. So moving to case number 32, this is presented by Ariel Carter, part of our legal team, and you're doing a great job as well. Thanks for all you do, Ariel. Ariel's from Knoxville, and how long have you been with the state? TREC company? Yeah. Well, thank you. You want to, so this is this one I pulled, this one is recommended to be dismissed, but I wondered since the respondent did not submit a response, if we were inclined to issue a civil penalty of any number. We've been harping- There was no response, and we've kind of been harping on that in recent meetings.
If the mail came back from another river, right, so that's not part of the sentence, so it's not, so that, but maybe not.
Okay, well, that's better, than more context. Okay, is there a motion to accept council's recommendation or any other?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Corbett, seconded by Commissioner Tucker, to my left. All in favor? Any against? Motion passes. Thank you. Page number 42 was one for us to discuss, Ariel.
So essentially, the complaint was a seller, the respondent was a agent, and it's been a very poor relationship while they're working together. The relationship ended, we were released from the exclusive representation agreement. But after that happened, the respondent went on a listing site and essentially posted an ad saying negative things about the seller. I think you guys were all given a copy of the ad. And all the identified people in the wording, they're essentially saying we're the seller, that it's a very difficult to work with. And it's posted on the public forum where anyone can see them. It's still pretty accurate.
Is that still online? Or did they take it down?
It is still online. Sign off and come by, this is full.
I'm pretty sure this is what,
Their name, their invite information, all like the kind of record. So it's very good, came from them. So it's very good.
And entertain a motion, by anybody, or discuss this further?
Has the respondent acknowledged anything? They know that we have. The respondent said, oh, yeah.
I don't think the broker responded on the behalf. But I'm probably seeing a copy of his ad, who's having original, so they should have a copy of it. But the, just I got from both of the responses were that the complaint was when he just was working like responded it. And everybody could resolve everything since the agreement was longer. The fact that it's longer than the break, but.
would have been great, but it was only.
I think like the ad in and of itself is a problem and what's written in it. That was some kind of representation or something like that. I don't know, violation of the very. Somewhere it's going to be advertised.
What strikes me is I'm trying to look up where that would be in the license there. Didn't strike me so much as advertising, it's just.
So, one that I went off of is containing statements that may be constructed by or implemented for business planning going forward. But the substantial misrepresentation, so I was kind of hitting my head on that one. And looking at things they learned during their communication, so they weren't the other person unless they had confidential conversations. Okay, then the online is where I got that violation from.
I see it making use of things from low point misrepresentation. Yeah. Agreed.
Different violations.
Could we say, let's say, $500 for penalty for the violation of that, code, and $500 for running safety. I agree to everybody. Works.
Yeah.
It's me.
It's not professional.
This posting normal.
I've never seen anything like
I
it.
haven't seen one before, but.
I wonder, DJ, I wonder if they'll read this in the record, it's pretty bad.
You want, yeah, if you want to get there, you want.
Look at that, and read it.
I'd like to read this into the record. About this home, beware, this seller is extremely hard to work with. I'm looking at the history of this address on this. She will have you list this property for 6 months, and when she thinks she has a buyer, she will request withdrawal. She wants to be the one to show and tell. She sends the photos to you, and you cannot go and do your own photos. She will not let you. I tried to set up an appointment to look at the property. She would not let me. I expected that she would want to withdraw in about 2 months, and I was right. Some done that did what I could. Beware of the seller.
So, Commissioner Corbin, you have a motion?
Okay, I'll just make that motion. I was thinking that. I made a motion that we, civil penalty $500 for an identical violation and a civil penalty $500 for not using reasonable skill
by Commissioner Corbett, second by Commissioner Moffitt. All in favor? Sorry,
I don't consider that advertising.
good question.
So, based off my reading of the advertising statute, when it's a substantial circumcision, then I think that can qualify it with the property address, all the identifier information that was needed from this after viewing. That's right, so something like that. And then I have the other subsection, essentially about clothing, confidential information, which I also, it's also in the term technology, advertising violation. Those two.
But this, 62-13-104, this is,
That was for the certification. Yeah, potential, certification, and then the other one, I did not write it down in this, legal report, but there's another subsection that, addresses.
do we need to try to mail it now, or do you want to?
And 62-13, resolve the subsection one.
It's basically the same claim in both of those sections. All right, do you have any more questions on that?
No, I'm trying not to be real advertising. It's definitely like an effort. But I'm just.
Yeah, I'm inclined to agree. Where was it posted at?
It's on the popular listing sites. So it was posted
No,
on the
public site.
advertising. Correct. It was posted on that, it wasn't necessarily. It was, so if you want to look at the property address, then this was about this section of the website. So it's essentially has a follow the first one, and identify information on the top and side of it, and then it's the something that appears something that about.
Like, if we're talking about advertising, like the rules, so it should be on page 81 or so.
Got a different.
Yeah, it should be a rounding.
Number.
It's all 16-02-.12. And number 1 has a definition of advertising. And so it says all advertising, regardless of its nature and medium in which it appears, which promotes either a licensee or the sale or lease of real property, shall conform to the requirements of the state. And then it talks about what the different types of advertising is. And so what you just read is promoting the sale or lease of real property, right? Would it not be? No, don't think so.
I think it's more like a vendetta. It's selling. Like a bandit. They're not trying to promote, sell the home. They're trying to slam the seller. in my opinion.
So, okay.
I guess the same housing is already. So they did it, it's actually, but this comment is fun.
Foreign advertisement, so what it sounds more like is maybe possibly professionalism, ethics, which, fall into our jurisdiction.
Right.
Be something called local association. type issue. But then, we do have what we have talked about beforehand, the section, if you go back to our statute, 6213.3, that's what our, like, duties, to all parties, and we have the diligently exercise reasonable skill and care, providing services to all parties in the transaction. And I can make a pretty good argument that the individual wrote is not using reasonable skill and care. But then we also just have your other things that you might want to look at in the part, we have provide services to each party to the transaction with honesty and good faith. Is that something that we're considering in this particular issue? Disclose to each party to the transaction timely and accurate information regarding market conditions and whatever. So you've got a lot of different things that you can look at in 403, duties owed to all parties here.
Yeah.
That you might want to consider, that will actually talk about like conduct of the individual. And then,
Yeah, and this is a good moment to speak to what the intent is for the Tennessee Real Estate Commission, and that is to protect the consumer. This, respondent's actions can be argued that it has affected this consumer ability to sell their property, lease the property, that anybody call them about their property based on what a professional has put out there and announced to the world. I see that it's advertising, not advertising, I see both sides of that discussion, but this, the duty owed to all parties, and as realtors, as licensees, as people just walking around the sense about how to treat people, how you'd want to be treated. The duties owed to all parties, I think provides some ground for a civil penalty issue. I think $1,000.
But there was a question. Okay, so I'll make it sense to actually, instead of 550, I'll just say out.
and $1,000, so they can also provide. 62, 13, 37.
Or three, the
62, 13, 4, and 31, which is reasonable stuff there. And then the local and substantial misrepresentation
yeah.
is 62, 13, 3, 12, 1.
So on the ethical part, do we need to refer that to the local association? Is that the way that works?
So the issue in referring something to local association is we don't know if the individual is a member of said association. We don't typically, but do that. We don't know if that person, like, so for example, not everybody is a realtor. So if they're not, that's not going to help us in this situation.
Does the local association get notified if the people that get from the police in there?
Well, I mean, so if an individual, for example, is disciplined by us, it goes on our disciplinary action report that's put on our website. And it'll also appear in the newsletters. That's if the individual signs it, and so people find out if people end up getting disciplined. So, but that's information that the complainant can choose to do, to submit it to the a local association if they so choose.
But are you saying then that the only way to do a ethical referral, if you will, is if a person does it is a member of the association, so if they're not, then what do we do? Nothing.
But we just don't, yeah, we don't have jurisdiction over ethical violations, since it doesn't fall under.
Point
complaint.
Can we add educational penalties stuff?
Right, yeah, so any, you can add, you can do civil penalties and education. We do, okay. You would like to amend?
I guess I didn't, substitute. Okay, because Robert. To add anything that you look at,
What first? Normally, well, we can do, it's usually, I'm not sure. We can cross. How long her ethics courses typically?
How long? 3 hours.
That, I feel like that's a good way to indicate that we think it's an ethical violation without saying it's an ethical violation. So $1,000 civil penalty for violation of procedure for statutes that you have. And a 3-hour course on ethics that will not.
People can get 180.
To be completed in 180.
That's odd seconds on that. I'll second that too. Second that one. Motion by Commissioner Tucker, second. I'm sorry. We laugh, but then we know there's a lot of gravity, emotions we make and the things that get passed, so we don't take those lightly. Thank you for your motion. Commissioner Corbett. Second by Commissioner Moffitt. All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Page number 43. I have this one down. Anybody else for this? I wrote down in my notes, what happened?
It was a lot. And, yeah, it was a lot to go through. I was trying to make it as simple as possible.
I hope I made it easy for you.
But essentially, the complaint was a home buyer, they bought the house, the respondent, in this case, the principal broker, but the actual person who's actually doing it was the agent under the principal broker. So the principal broker doesn't find this real estate interaction at all, but the buyer's agent in this case essentially, sorry, I guess the allegation is that the buyer did not know that there was no fee at the property. The seller was simply saying that, sorry, I can't the buyer's agent, seller's agent, I don't know.
Respondent is the seller's agent.
And the seller, yeah. It
What
was
is
the
it?
agent, yeah, sorry, misspoke. But the principal broker is not part of it. But essentially that there was this device film that was on the property and the buyer that I don't want that or need that in my life. And so they chose not to have that. It turns out that it was some kind of heating device for the house, but the seller never used that. They used some kind of standalone unit. And then the complaint was saying that the individual standalone unit didn't work. And so it's gonna go back and forth that there is heat from the respondent side. And the same thing, there's no heat at all. There's a lot back and forth, that's really what happened in this case. Correct. They got removed from the property. I couldn't say they didn't want that on the property, so I don't need phones in my house, but have to deal with furnace.
Make a
So it didn't have to be that for furnace for anything. I did not receive that, no.
So the recommendation is dismiss an open administrative complaint against proper respondent,
Which is the list.
not the broker.
Correct.
So the complainant filed a complaint against the broker, not the listener.
I think it was against the firm in general, and not the principal broker, instead of like,
So our complaint against the administrative complaint is just to formally get this filed correctly.
correct.
We'll see it again. Okay, well, I guess if that's the case, we'll see it at that point, but it does seem like something awry. The complainant didn't waive their inspection, they looked at the property, they saw the property, they weren't out of state. Did they have representation?
I believe it did.
And they're basically saying, we want a house that does not have heat.
And they're saying that the slide, the proper slide, did not disclose that, and the seller knew that there was no. So that was in there.
Thank you. I agree. Motion by Commissioner Vaughn, second by Commissioner Tucker. All in favor?
Aye.
Any against? That's just unanimous. Thank you. At 44 and 45 are related. We're drawing near to the end here, everybody. We've got 4 cases, these two are connected. 44, 45, up on these, anybody else? And I'm gonna make it a little short here. The related cases. One for 750, recommendation for a civil penalty of 750. And one case is recommended for 500. You know, what kind of background, or why not recommend both 1,000?
The reason I changed the amount was because the first one, 44, was from the broker, and all of the people encompassing the property together, I felt like the principal broker had added responsibilities to understand the agreement and that those the property within 12 hours.
Anybody have any discussion about this? Any questions on both sides of the line? All right, motion to accept council recommendation tonight. Mhm. Motion by Commissioner Corbett, second by Commissioner Rogers. All in favor? Any against? Motion passed unanimously. Thank you. Page number 50. I pulled this. Does anybody know? I've said that more today. I've said it in 3 years. I'm not gonna pull a senior case. I'm not gonna pull a senior case. Page number 50. My question was, here, did all the parties sign the agreement with the great occupancy agreement?
Yes, they all signed it, and there were a couple text messages that wanted to get, showing that not everyone knew what was happening.
Okay. So the complainant here is the representative the seller, the respondent representing the buyer. The complainant alleges that the respondent refused to release $5,000 of escrow money after closing and had no legal right to do so. The respondent stated everybody had signed a temporary occupancy agreement and denied withholding escrow money. It's a good issue with the writing on the, so, I'm going to make them, I entertain a motion to accept council's recommendation. Everybody gets signed that, all parties were aware of what was going on with the peers.
I make a motion to accept council's recommendation.
Motion by Commissioner Tucker, second by Commissioner Bailey, all in favor? Any against? Motion passes unanimously. I have some motion for the last case today, case for 58. I'm selected to discuss this case. 58, the recommendation was $1,000 penalty for engaging in unlicensed activity. Was there any issue with, they couldn't respond? That was another of my questions. Should we, of course, if it's unlicensed, I guess, for, yeah. I'm just gonna set council's recommendation, and if they're unlicensed, they probably, with the chance of verifying them family.
I think I have a question on. So if we said to the unlicensed. Bring the only way that is if they decide to get. Right?
Yeah, sometimes, unlicensed individuals do pay us.
I guess that question.
Yes.
That's our success rate is like, nothing is higher than all those.
I don't know what that is, but they do pay us sometimes.
There a motion to accept council recommendation for case number 58.
I make a motion.
There's a
You
second.
can make it around.
Okay. Motion to accept council recommendation by Commissioner Wynn, second by Commissioner Corbett. All in favor? Any against? And motion passes unanimously. That brings us to the conclusion of our consent agenda. We have a few moments here for commission discussion, then our agenda is wrapping up here soon. Thank you all for joining us and participating. Any commission discussion? Anybody? Any remarks on Hennons? I hear they got good steaks. It's a good deal.
I do have two things. One, once again, I do want to thank our Greater Chattanooga Realtors for their hospitality and the use of their facilities today. We, as Commissioner Fair said, go to West Tennessee, East Tennessee, at least once a year. So thank you so much for opening up your facility for us. Also, for those that are here that need or want to eat, I'm assuming that's why you came there. Please make sure you sign out, because you must sign in and sign out to collect all 8 hours of CE. Although our meeting luckily is not 8 hours today. I also want to acknowledge Deputy General Counsel Mark Green. He is here with us from Nashville, so I do want to acknowledge him. Thank you.
Thank you. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Okay.
One more thing. Sorry, I thought I was also thank TREC staff that I know are watching. Thank you for sending me notes and keeping me on task during this meeting today. Also, Aaron Smith, thank you so much for helping organize all this with the greater. Thank you.
Absolutely. And I was also to speak, I mean, all of us can speak at length about how impressive the state's staff is with the Department of Commerce and Insurance and all the water they carry day in, day out. It's seamless. You're getting licensed quicker than ever. You know, it's a lot of information come through their doors and back out their doors to the state of Tennessee. So, I mean, it's amazing, and they really do a great job. And when people move on to other opportunities, it's really sad because they leave a hole, and there's other people that come step up and fill them. So, we're really blessed in Tennessee to have a great working staff there. So, anybody else have anything for a motion to adjourn?
Thank you, Ted. Yeah. And the superintendent.
Yeah. I like Lucas on the field. So,
I was a little scared because Mark showed up right after. I apologize.
This has been wonderful. It's been great to meet some of you all and get to know more of our colleagues here. Anybody else have anything? Kathy, thank you for being such a helpful pleasure.
Welcome, and thank you all so much for being
Motion to adjourn. All in favor? Any against?